Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Fortune and Flows with Juno.
Hey everybody, happy New Year and happy the 20th. We passed the 20th, that big day where we're waiting for Pluto to go into Aquarius and everybody can
Oh, yeah, wasn't that
get
all the
excited.
planets were lining up yesterday?
I
That's
think
like,
things come in stages. I think Pluto was the big one, but somebody can maybe put in the chat. We have some
okay.
astrologer experts out there that can fill
Yeah,
us
I
in.
don't know diddly about astrology,
But anyway, this is a
except for
day we've been
tropical
waiting. This is a
astrology, and I'm
big
a
day.
Gemini. That's all I know.
Yeah. All I know is this was a big day and things for a big turning point for us for things to start going in a
Yeah,
positive
somebody
direction.
had put something, I think it was Valerie from Illumination Portal,
Yeah.
had put something last week. Somebody put up a meme it was like all the planets were lined up and going into the same place on the same day.
Yep.
And she
Yep.
was talking about it's going to be a superpower day.
Yep.
And I was like, oh my God, that must have been why everything was so screwy yesterday. It's because
Oh,
the
I had such
energy
a
was
headache Friday.
screwy.
I knew something was coming. Now, it seems like lately, well, I think it's been going on a long time, but right before a big astrological thing or a lot of times earthquakes and stuff, I get a really nasty headache that just nasty enough to keep me down. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Not the worst of the worst, but just enough to make me miserable and non-functioning. And then I get over it. So
exactly. I want to see if I can make this a little bigger.
your place looks so awesome, Sherry. Look at that background. Look at you
Yeah.
all dolled up. You look marvelous, darling.
So
Marvelous.
I did a test run last night. It was like after midnight and I was wide awake and I'm sitting there and I thought, okay, well, let's do a test run and make sure that the camera's going to do what I want it to do and the angles are right. And so I didn't expect anybody to jump on.
Uh-huh.
And so I just did a live and started. And I figured, okay, I'll talk to myself for a few minutes and then I'll just throw some cards and shut her down. And before I could even catch my breath, I had like three people in the chat going, look at you, you're awake.
Yeah, oh, good for you.
I
Oh,
was
I
like,
love
what are
it.
y'all doing up? Before I knew it, I had like 30 people in the room. I was like, oh my God, where did you people come from?
That's
Don't y'all
awesome.
sleep? But it was great. I was like an hour and a half. It was almost 2 in the morning before I got off. And I was like, holy smokes, man. But it was fun. It was just me and the handful of people. And we drew cards and talked and just kind of shot the shit and then was done with it. But it was fun. It was great. It was like,
Good for
oh, that's
you.
cool. I don't do solos very often because
Uh-huh.
I get nervous by myself because it's like I'm not talking to anybody.
Right, right, right.
But once I'm getting more used to it, so I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
No, you're
Okay,
doing great. But that it looks awesome. I love it. Very nice.
but yeah, I got the space rearranged. I got the new camera plugged in up on the tripod. I got the new monitor. Um, got the lights. I got an ambery light here, an ambery light up there, and then I've got a blue green light over here to my right. That's kind of like coming from the
Mm-hmm.
underside, from the edge of my
Nice.
desk, and to kind of give it that different coloration on the scales, on the lighting scales. So
Yeah, I like it. It looks very good. Very flattering. Very nice.
and fill us in on what you've been up to, what's coming up, what's next, your new show that you're doing.
Um,
Tell
well,
us all
Valerie
about it.
Bradshaw and I are doing some shows together. I think we kind of do this loosely, but on the average, about twice a month, we're doing a show. We did one on Jin Shin Jyutsu on 111, and I talked about Safety Energy Lock 1 and Safety Energy Lock 11, um, and how in January, the name January, some of that has to do with the word janitor, and Safety Energy Lock 11 is the janitor of our system to hold that would be really helpful, especially the beginning of the year. A lot of us are cleaning out and cleansing and all that. So you guys might want to go back and watch that show. It's on Valerie's channel, and I I think the link is on my channel. We're still trying to figure out how to get it all where it's supposed to be. But and then we had Adele Lees from Jin Shin Jyutsu for Your Animal Companions. She was a guest a week ago Saturday, and she demonstrated Jin Shin Jyutsu for animals, and she had a class that just started. So that's another great show to go check out. Anybody who's out there who is interested in working with animals, even if it's just your own animal, it's a really wonderful thing to study. And it helps you to understand yourself too, because you learn about your own healing too. Thanks, Butterfly. She's got an amazing video that she just put out with the Wizard of Oz. And mean, it was so moving. I mean, in the best way moving. And it's especially. I haven't
watched it yet. Like I said, I've got it saved. Yeah. I'm hoping to get it watched tonight.
And especially my dad talks to me through rainbows and that song Somewhere Over the Rainbow, and his birthday was just this past week. And I'm doing this new set of series of short videos. One is Mindless Minute. So those are the ones on your cell phone that are less than a minute long. And then I got a request to make them on your big screen. So then those are a little longer with basically the same. Sometimes the music, it has more, more to it because it's longer. And that one's Mindless Moments. And so then I'm doing all different styles of music. So I picked the polka one and I dedicated that to my dad. And just shortly after that, then she posted the video, and it made me think of my dad. So it's just it all ties. It shows how we're all connected in our community, all of us anyway, but even more so.
Oh yeah. My mom's birthday would have been back December 17th. And she would have been, see, 52, 60, 70, 80, 90, 02, 22. She would have been 71. Yeah. She would have been 71 this year.
No, she had to be more than 71. Your mom?
Yeah, my mom. She was born in 42. So 52, 62, 72, 82, 92, 02, 12, 22. She would have been 81, excuse me.
Yeah, I was going to say, because how old are you? She was
I'm 62. So
yeah, so that would have been
do the math. I can't. So obviously I can't add today. But I'm trying to put everybody up that's popped in to say hello while we chit chat. And
hey, Fatima.
Several people that were on last night with me that popped in.
So I have a toy that I wanted to show, like just because we were on the heels of talking about how we're all connected. I've had this for a long time, and then something made me drag it on. Okay, everybody, you're going to see me go commando here because I have to take my gloves off to show this. But and I don't have any. This is just something. I don't. This isn't a paid promotion kind of thing or anything. It's just something that's fun that shows us how to, when we have people in our lives. Hi, everybody. When we have people in our lives that don't understand how energy works, even in their own bodies, and you're very welcome, Butterfly Kisses. Awesome video. Please go watch it. There's a link on I gave her a shout out in my community page also to that video. So you can find it either on her channel.
I will add it. Matter of fact, let me write it down so I don't forget.
Yeah, share it with people.
Add it to the community.
Absolutely incredible. Don't miss
it. I will
it.
add it to my description box.
Yeah, and it's a good one to watch every now and then. Some of these are real gems. Like save them in your, in a playlist, and then you can watch them.
Yeah, I've got stuff like that saved up. So
yeah. So anyway, back to my toy. When you have people who don't understand, can't comprehend, they can't explain to you how radios work, or how electricity works, but they don't think that relates to them and their body. So how it's an electrical system. So I had this little toy here. It's called a sci-fi tube, and that just happens to be the name of this brand of it. But if you hold with one hand, and then when you add the other hand, it makes a connection. It lights up. Take it off. There's no button on it or anything. It's just a sensor, and it's just activated, by. So at the end of Jin Shin Jyutsu class, a 5-day class, we would all stand in a circle and hold hands, and then. So I started adding this so we could see how we were all connected. Because if we all held hands and then two people, one on each side, did this, then you could see our circuit, went all the way around the circle. Yeah. And they used to do it in a spiritualist church in Tucson I used to go to also. At the end of the service, we used to do the same thing. So it's a fun way to demonstrate it to people. Oh, yeah. She's got so many amazing things on her channel, and not to diminish those, but the Wizard of Oz one was amazing. And I think, it's something
Absolutely.
we can all relate to. Everybody knows the Wizard of Oz. So anyway, it
Well,
was just fun. Just thought to show people that, you know,
yeah.
it's
I
just
mean, and
annoying enough.
it proves the point that we're all energy. It's all
Exactly.
coming from energy. We're all energy.
Exactly.
Um, and when we complete that circle, it it not only charges us, but it can recharge us. I
Right.
mean, when you stop and think about it, when someone is down or depressed, if somebody else comes in and just makes that connection, they can usually brighten their mood. Um,
And it might just take a smile. It might not even mean saying or doing
yeah,
anything. Just smile,
yeah.
or even if you
Something as
just smile
simple
with
as
your
just
eyes. I know that's. When people are wearing masks and stuff now, we're more conscious of how our, sorry, I was fixing my camera, getting that point across, even though they can't see your face, see all your face.
right, right. Well, I know I've always used the example of if you're in a grocery line,
Mhm.
and somebody's new and they're learning and people are getting pissed, be really praiseworthy when you get up to them and thank them for the hard work that they're trying to learn. And
Exactly. I
it
do that
usually
all the time.
changes, yeah, it usually changes everybody's attitude.
Oh,
And
totally.
that happened to me just on, what was it, Friday. I went to Walmart. I had popped into Walmart for something, and the the young lady on the register and the manager was like right there with her, but she was training, and there was a fairly long line, and most everybody was pretty chill, but there were a few people that were starting to make those noises. And so when it was my turn and I got up to her, I remembered my own words. I said, you're doing such a great job training today. So this must be very stressful. And she's like shaking her head and not
Yeah.
wanting to say anything. And the manager like picked up on what I was saying. And she said, she's doing an excellent job. She
Yeah.
really is. It's a lot to
Good.
learn in
Yeah.
such a short amount of time. And before I knew it, everybody in line behind me were all saying nice things to her.
Yeah.
Oh, you're doing
Yeah.
great. Keep it up.
Paying it forward.
And so yeah, I mean, it can make a big difference.
And in the line, if you're standing in a line like that while you're waiting and the people ahead of you and behind you are grumpy, hold your middle finger and you can send that out and you can help harmonize the anger of those people around you also to help chill them out. So
Yeah,
yeah, there's all these little things that we can do, even just staying calm yourself and not adding to it. And I've been doing that
yeah,
thing for the last 4 years. Whoever I'm meeting, even if it's somebody that helps me over the phone or whatever, and thank them for that. And people sometimes get really emotional because it's like they're like, you don't know how much I needed to hear that today.
oh,
And it's more
absolutely.
often than not that you hear that.
I can't tell you how many times I've been upset or angry or just having a bad day, and somebody makes a point of stopping and smiling and
Yeah.
saying hello and
Yep.
how are you today? And, or hi, you look really great today, or I love your dress, or I love your hair, or whatever the thing may be. And it can change your whole attitude
Yep.
of the rest of your day. I mean, it makes your day. You come into work and you notice, one of the coworkers has got a haircut. Well, make a point of saying something about it. Oh, you got your hair cut? That looks really good. And it makes them feel like they're noticed and they're worthy. And and that's what we want is to make people feel noticed and worthy. And I've slowly been trying to put everybody up here who's popping in and saying hello because I know you don't have chat, right?
Well,
You
yeah, I can't see it. It's too far
yeah,
away
you
from me
can't
to
see
read
the
it.
chat, so
But I'm working on reorganizing my space so that I will have a more accommodating setup. So I'm like totally going through my house top to bottom, and I'm finding things because I have a lot of things I've made, like jewelry. I have a lot of crystals. I have a lot of mandalas, and I want to start an eBay site. So it's just takes a little while to get it all together, but I got to organize. I got to get cleaned and organized, and
Well,
release stuff,
I'm
make
about
space.
halfway organized. I've
Yeah,
got everything rearranged. Yesterday we moved the computers and the monitors and reset up so I could use this other camera. So now I could do a close up and it's not me a million miles away. Um, I've got this beautiful screen behind me that a secret Santa sent me,
nice.
and
Lucky
which I'm
girl.
just tickled to death over. And you can just make out the cat sleeping on the
Yeah,
pillow right there. And behind me is still a mess. I still have stuff piled, trying to figure out where I'm going to put things. And I look at the pile behind me, and I look at the pile on the dining room table, and I sit here and I go, where the hell did I have all this stuff
yeah,
fit? Because it all came out of the same space, and now it's
yeah,
like, how am I going to get it all back in? But
yeah. It's like a puzzle. That's how my
then I
place is.
remembered,
It's so
okay, half of it
overcrowded.
needs to go in the garbage. So,
Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm doing, and cleaning, and figure with all this big shift that's happening, let's clear it out. And I think the 27th is the day of everything really moving forward. I think yesterday was the,
maybe,
the Pluto thing, but I'm not positive, but
yeah, I'll have to go find it.
I
I
know it's
posted it.
Valerie knows. She's got, she talks about it, I think, on the show they did yesterday. And,
Yeah. And I enjoy watching her. She was on, you're talking about Valerie from
yeah,
Illumination Corps.
illumination. Yeah,
Yeah.
astrology.
She came on over the break with me. She came
Hmm.
on the show, and we had the best time.
Oh,
It
yeah,
was so
she's
much
awesome.
fun.
Love Valerie.
Um, and then I don't know if you watch Hershey the
I
Shadow.
don't, just because it's a time thing. It's not, I watch very
Right.
little anymore.
I
I just don't.
rarely catch her live because, again, it's a time thing. I usually catch, bits and pieces in replay. And just so happened last night I caught her live with several. Miss Tarot D was on,
Oh, nice.
and of course Heather and whatnot, and it was fun. And then today I got an email inviting me to join in on her next scavenger hunt,
Oh,
and
fun. Yeah,
I'm
I've
not
heard about
quite
those. I want to check
sure
those out.
how it works. I think she gives clues, and then we have to find the answer in a deck of cards.
Oh,
So,
fun.
and you can use the same deck over and over, but you can't use the same card.
That makes sense.
So I was like, okay. So when she emailed me, she's going to do it at noon next, I think it's next Saturday at noon, Central Time. And I said, well, I can do it for about an hour. So, but I got a 2 o'clock show. So,
Yeah. That
I'm,
sounds like
I'm going to
fun. I
be
gotta check that out.
constrained for time, but it looks like fun. I have no idea how to play. That's just my supposition on how they do it. I'm gonna have to get with either her or Heather and say, okay, explain the rules
Yeah.
so I know what I'm doing. But
Fun. Well,
yeah,
Valerie and I are doing a show on the 26th together. So that's coming up. I think that's Friday. So we're going to be, and
um,
I'm going to be talking about how
yeah.
Aquarius and Pluto are related in Jin Shin Jyutsu. And she's going to be talking about it from an astrology point of view. So,
Oh, cool.
guys, check it
And
out. I'll
well,
put
I've
a I'll
got.
put a note on my page.
Well, I left my book out because I knew we would get to it. I'm gonna be well tomorrow night is the first episode of my new show called Draining the Swamp. My
Nice.
co-host will be Mel Dore, the Aloha Shirt Psychic, and Arthur from Ease Your Mind. They will be my co-host. And it's strictly a political show, but it's I want to kind of look at it in the sense of as the swamp drains, what kind of gunk is bubbling to the surface that we're having to deal with.
Mhm.
And there's plenty to pick from. So that's kind of the way I want to go with it. And that may work and it may change. I don't know, but that's tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. And then Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central, I'm going to be a guest on Michelle Marie's channel, Astrological Tarot. And
Nice.
I'm really looking forward to that. I like Michelle a lot. And Thursday is Golden Girls. The four of us will be back. And then Friday on the 26th, I have Terry Renner from Holding Your Space. We finally got a date that worked for both of us. So she's going to be on. And then Saturday, um, I'm going to have Kelly, the Mystic Next Door, coming on. And then Sunday is my other new show I'm starting with Isaac, who's a professional counselor. Y'all probably seen him on the channel with me. He's been on a few times. He doesn't have a channel himself, but he's an intuitive and he loves doing this kind of stuff. We're going to be starting a new show called Mastering uh, Mental Wellness. Um, so basically, to talk about everyday stressors, anxieties, depressions, stress factors, things that we can do to help eliminate some of that, or that we can do to help someone else kind of be able to eliminate some of that, as well as depending on that month's topic, we'll put up like worksheets that people can download so they can follow along as we talk about it, or they can fill it out. And then when they come on the show, they can kind of be able to look and say, well, when I got to this section, this is what I discovered about myself. Just something to kind of help people work through all the
Excellent.
changes that are coming.
Mm-hmm.
And
Excellent.
at the same time, also be able to have links for people if something needs more than just a 1 hour online show
Mm-hmm.
to um, to kind of help them figure it out. If there's a worse problem, if the person that they're asking about has a deeper problem than just kind of a surface level type anxiety and whatnot, then we want to be able to provide links and where people can go to seek professional help.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Excellent.
through it all, that's the most important. You know, we can talk about it and cover it up to a point. Um, we'll probably can get away with a little bit more than normal because of the fact that Isaac is a licensed professional counselor. That's what he does for his job. Um, so, but at the same time, we want to be sure that we're able to be there to those offer links and whatnot for people to know exactly where to go for help if it's a much worse case than just something that they can use like the jujitsu on, or some of the other things, breathing techniques or relaxation techniques. and,
Mudras.
and so that's our goal with it. And so that's next Sunday. So that'll
Excellent.
be
It's a
once a
great
month.
idea. I think people that it's
That's my
going to be
baby.
one of those bumpy years, and I think that any kind of support and that's excellent that he's a qualified person. That makes it, like say, it takes some restrictions off what you can express. So good
Absolutely.
for you. You'll be
Well,
busy.
I met Isaac about 2 years ago, I guess, on the Soul Sisters with Sonia Rayleigh and EQ. It's a friend of theirs. He lives out in California, and they had an open mic night one night, and he came on, and I was on, and we just met, started talking, and discovered that something clicked. We really hit it off, and he's done um, two holiday seasons in a row now. He's done a stressor show with me on how to deal with holiday stresses, keep yourself from going nuts during the silly season, right? Um, and ever since we did the first one, it's just been in the back of my mind. I wanted to do this other show. And I finally felt spirit was like, now's the time, start doing it now. And so I emailed him and I told him what I wanted to do and that I wanted him to join me on it. And he was like 100% for it. Absolutely, I'm in. Let's do this. So we're both really excited about getting this kicked off, and and hopefully provide some help, just basic helps in different ways for everybody. To
Well, sometimes just knowing that you aren't the only one who's feeling a certain way about whatever it is, just knowing you're not
yes,
alone in that, sometimes that's greater comfort than people realize, just feeling like, okay, I'm around people that I can speak openly with and that understand. Because some
yeah,
of us, we're so sensitive, and a lot of the world doesn't understand why we can't just get over it, or just take this pill and get over it. Well, I
yeah,
tried all that, and that only made me worse. So, it but so you find these other ways. That's how I came to Jin Shin Jyutsu, and that was through a doctor. My pain management doctor sent me to another doctor.
yeah,
uh,
exactly.
and I was curious about these things anyway, but I had no idea. This was like this, but it was the beginning of a really amazing journey for me that continues to this day. So
Yeah,
good
well,
for
I know
you.
in the beginning when I first, with my back, when it first started to get really worse, about a couple of years after the accident, it started getting bad again. And I started out doing like chiropractor work um and other things, just trying to not have to go to an extreme with it.
Right.
And it got to the point where medication was the only thing that gave me a, a, a level of relief that helps me function.
Right. I
So,
understand.
it's
Hmm.
like I take pain medicine 4 times a day
Yeah, and I'm
because
not criticizing people who do. You know that. I'm
right,
just saying that it
because
it, it isn't doesn't work for everybody.
some
And
people are able to deal with it and not have to take that route.
when
Some
you're
of
dealing
us,
with chronic pain, depression is goes kind of hand in hand with that a lot of times. So
right, and as it gets progressively worse, it's harder and harder and harder to use other means to make it better. So for a long time I took medicine, but I took it at a very minimum, or I would take a half a dose instead of a whole dose, just trying to not have to rely on it as much.
right.
And but as it steadily has gotten worse, it's like, yeah, no, I wouldn't be able to get out of bed in the morning
Yeah.
and
Well,
walk
and your
across the
body
room.
becomes accustomed to it too, and then it requires more. It's a vicious circle with that.
It is a vicious circle. And for those that don't understand chronic pain, um, part of the trick with that is you you figure out what your peaks and valleys are throughout the day,
Hmm.
and then you want to gear your medication intake on those um, on that kind of curvature,
Hmm.
so that you're not peaking
Right.
and dropping with pain.
Right.
Because if you wait till you're peaking before you take a pain pill, then after a while it takes 2 pain pills to deal with that peak,
Right.
and then 3 pain pills to deal with that peak. And because your body is expecting more and more and more. But if you take it at the same time every day, low dose, then it's just there to kind of keep a level of functionability
Hmm.
so that you're not peaking. You're not pain free, but you're not peaking. So, yeah, it's hard to it's harder to get doctors to understand that than it is to get regular people to understand that.
Hmm.
I can't count how many doctors I've tried to explain it to, and they're like, "How do you know all of this?" I said, "Because I have a really good pain management doctor who
Hmm.
took the time to
Exactly.
explain to me how it works, why I should do it this way, and it's makes a huge difference." Um, so enough about us. We've been going on and on and on, especially me. Forgive the throat. My sinuses have been raining like crazy, which makes me get more gravelly. And I do apologize. I wish I could make that go away. Um,
You're fine. And it's cold
and
there too. You're dealing with a
it's
lot.
cold. And I had to run to the grocery store just before we started to go get some stuff to make a gumbo tonight.
Yum.
And I went to take stuff out to do it. I was like, well, damn, I'm out of this. I'm out of this. I'm out of this. I'm going to have to make a run to the grocery store. I'm looking at my watch saying, okay, Juno is 4:30. Do I have time? Yes, I have time. And then I got in the car and discovered I'm sitting on empty. So I had to go to the gas
Oh
station
no. Oh, isn't that how it always goes?
those days. And hi, Michelle. I was just telling everybody I'm going to be on your show Wednesday. Thank you. I love
Yeah,
this. I found it.
look at
It's
that. Ooh
on
la la, darling. I love it.
cards and balloons and stuff. I got it
Beautiful.
on Temu,
Mhm.
Temu.com. It was like under $5.
Wow.
It's like a
Cool.
silk kind of feel to it. I mean, it's not real silk. Who can afford that? But um, well, thank you, Odelia. I
Oh,
appreciate that, honey. I can use all the candles you can light.
yeah, me too.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, Temu.com. That's where I got the scarf. So okay, yeah. See, Jill,
Mm-hmm.
it's nice when you meet other people who go through the same thing, because then they understand what it is that you're trying to get across. Because that can get difficult trying to explain to somebody, no, I have to take the elevator. I can't walk up the stairs. It's just not a possibility anymore. My back won't let me do that.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And
Even when you want to say snunya, like snunya business. You know?
exactly. Exactly. It's like, I would love to be able to run up and down the
Yeah.
stairs or just walk up and down the stairs for the
Yeah.
exercise of it. Not
Yeah,
happening.
exactly.
Not going to do it. Yeah, no. I was up late last night. I was telling Juno about that when we were backstage. I hopped on after midnight last night, y'all, just to do like a test run with the new camera and the new angles and everything. Didn't expect anybody else to be awake that would even pop on. I figured I'll pop in, check how everything looks, maybe throw a couple of cards for a collective read and pop off. Not a big deal. And before I could catch my breath, I had like 3, 4 people in the room saying, "Hey, what are you doing up?" I was like, "Oh my God."
Oh, fun.
So it was fun. I had a ball. Um,
Those
I
impromptu
might do
things
that
are
more
really
often.
fun sometimes. Spontaneous.
That's it. Yeah, that's why to stay ahead of the pain. That's, Karen, that exactly it. If you set a time and you take it at the same time every day, then it keeps you at a manageable level and you're not spiking and dropping. And that's what you want to avoid is the spike and the drop. And so it's like I have alarms set on my phone. They go off every time it's time for my medication. So I don't forget because sometimes I'll
Mhm.
get busy doing things and I'll forget to take it. Then a couple of hours go by and I'm like in serious pain, going, God, why am I hurting so bad? And then it dawns on me, I forgot to take my pill 2 hours ago. So yeah. And yeah, it that's a risk you run when you're
Yeah,
taking
exactly.
prescription medications is more pills to add to the pills to add to the pills
Well, and they
to
all affect you, and they all affect your vibration too. You know, they
exactly,
and
exactly,
yeah, it's yeah. And the thing is, you know, the majority of medications are derived. They're synthetic versions of what you get through plants, but they can't patent a plant. So, you know, and then not everybody's system can work with the synthetics. But
exactly. And it's I mean, I take very low doses of medication. I'm not like taking, you know, 15, 20, 25 milligrams of pills. I'm taking like 7.5 milligrams of a pill,
Mhm.
um, or 5 milligrams of a pill, depending on what it is. So it's like, what's the bare minimum to get me through the day? Then that's what I take. And and if I'm having a good day and I don't need to take a dose, I don't take it. I just,
Mhm.
okay, I'm doing okay. I don't need it today. And I'll just save it for the days when I need an extra pill
Mhm.
because it's
Yeah.
just not bad.
Yeah.
Um, it just comes and goes. So, and you learn to deal with it. I mean, I got hurt in 1999. I've been dealing with it every day since. It's not fun living in constant chronic pain, but you do get used to it. You get accustomed to it. You learn what you can and can't do. You learn what to avoid so that you don't make it worse. Um, and then it's just a matter of I'll leave the rest of it to source. I mean, I've had this discussion with my spirit guides. It's like, y'all could just take this away. It would be really nice. And it just keeps coming back. No, this is what you're here for. Is part of your journey is going through this. And so I'm like, okay, so there's a reason for it. Maybe it's to prepare me for my next life, or maybe it's to amend what happened in a past life. I don't know. But anyway, we've got gone on and on and on and on and on. We've already been on 36 minutes. We haven't done one thing. But play catch up. And it's what happens when you don't see each other for a month and a half. Uh, so okay. If you would be interested in a destiny card reading, you need to put your birth month and your birth day in there. We don't need the year. Uh, if you've already had one done, you don't need another one because it doesn't change because that's your birthday, right? So it doesn't change. Um, if you would like Juno to talk about some of the ways that the Jin Shin Jyutsu works, as far as I mean, I liken it to pressure points. You certain points you hit to alleviate pain or whatnot. And other points, it's far more convoluted than that, but that's the simplicity that my brain has knocked it down to, so that I understand it. She can explain it much better, and so yeah, if y'all would have a question or would like a card pull, I pull an oracle card. Juno, you have oracle cards too, right?
Oh yeah, I got tarot cards and oracle cards and all kinds of toys here.
And now keep watching for Juno because she's now doing the Akashic readings. She went through a class and trained for this. And I know you're doing shows with Val, right?
No, I'm not anymore. I did it for a little while, and
Okay.
now I'm just doing private readings. So if anybody's interested, you're welcome. There's information. You can email me at junosees at gmail.com if you would like to
Her
book any kind of a reading or Jin Shin
exactly.
Jyutsu, self help instruction, or some distance healing. I offer a
Exactly.
lot of different things. So
All of her contact information is in the description box below. We both take donations for support. That's what helps pay for everything that we do here. Um, I'm set up. I can do super chats or whatnot, or you can make a direct donation to PayPal, either mine or to Juno's. Um, uh, yeah, so that's, or if you want a private reading, Juno does private readings now. I do private readings. So if interested, just email me with an email that says reading in the subject line, and we'll go over what I offer, and what the price levels are,
mhm.
and I'm very reasonable compared to a lot of folks. A lot of people charge a lot more than me, but I'm just not at that level yet, and so you'd be getting me cheap right now, and And then I know that Juno does readings. I don't know if you charge or if you
I'm doing
do.
them by donation right now.
Okay. See,
So
that's how I started out, donation only.
yeah,
So
yeah, and and I also, we can talk about animals. We can talk about a lot of different things. And there's something I was going to say. I totally spaced it. But I also, with those little mini, the mindless minute and mindless moment things, if you're having, like Sherry was talking about earlier, if you're having one of those days and you just feel like, well, I wish I could zone out for a minute, or, just shift my energy. These are a great way to, they're really brief. There's a minute. I think the longest one is less than 3 minutes, or maybe right around 3 minutes. And there's not, most of them are maybe like 2 minutes that are the longer ones. So,
yeah,
you know, and you can play them on loop. I even made playlists so that you can just play them back to back. And I didn't add anything. They're just a kaleidoscope and really interesting music that goes with each kaleidoscope. And it just kind of shifts you out of your, it's kind of like that magic eye. Remember those pictures back in the day where you just kind of let your eyes go out of focus, and it would help. You could
yeah.
see other things in the picture than what you could see when you were, the harder you looked for it. So,
It's very much like the app Calm, CALM, that you
oh, is
pay
it?
a freaking
I've never seen
fortune
it.
to. It costs way too much money for this app that you, whenever you feel like you need to have 5 minutes or something, you can press this app and it'll like help you zone out for 5 minutes or so. But I, they did a thing in the beginning where it was free, and I did it a few times, and it was nice, if I was, taking a break or out at lunch or something, to just kind of zone out for, 5 or 10 minutes. And then they started charging for it, and it was just like, okay, that's over my pocket level. Um, so so Juno has these, and they're really, really good. I've listened to
Thanks.
quite a few of them, and yeah, they're on a playlist, so that makes it easy. Um, I
Yeah, and
know
you
Arthur.
can put, if you click on playlist, and I don't, a lot of people maybe don't know that if you click on playlist and you can choose, like say you choose the mindless moments one, and then you can go and you can play it on loop or you can play it on shuffle. So if you want to have just some kind of nice background, something with just some color playing on your
Yeah,
screen, on your TV screen, even just to kind of shift the room energy. Sometimes I'll play it, like if I'm back in my bedroom, I've got two computers, or two TVs. One is hooked up to my computer, and one is just hooked up to the internet. But if I'm feeling like, okay, the energy in my house needs to shift, I'll play that on loop in the room I'm not in. Just to kind of
right.
keep that going. So it's a lot of fun. I got everything from polkas to the blues to flamenco to Hawaiian
And they're really
music, and
good.
it's a real across the board thing. Spacey music, like alien sound and stuff. So um, I want to come.
They're
I've decided I want to come back in my next life as a kaleidoscope, because I'm totally fascinated by them. They're always changing and they're so
absolutely
colorful and just mesmerizing. Uh, I just love it.
okay. Going, I spotted a question, so I'm going back to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Uh, all right. First up, we got Sharon. September. Oh, she put
Oh,
the year. What day in September,
what day?
Sharon?
Yeah.
You don't need the year. We just need the month and the day. Um, let's see.
And
Let's
something else that I offer is a printed out destiny card reading it covers the span of a year, and it goes from birthday to birthday. So that's another thing that is in my offerings.
There you go.
They're kind of fun to look at.
Um, okay. Well,
These are all just tools to help us understand ourselves better, and also to understand, because like with the destiny cards, you see relationships with other people. It just
yeah.
sometimes gives you a different perspective, or
Well, while we wait for Sharon to come back and tell us what day, we have Linda just put in for March 13th. She says, I'll be brave. Hi, Marby. All right.
Guess you can guess the suit, Sherry. Here we go again. Ten of
A
diamonds.
diamond?
Yeah, the
No, not
money
a
card.
diamond.
Ooh la la, Linda Ramsey. Financial protection, fortunate dealing with lots of money, and spirituality is your challenge. So this could be the Ten of Diamonds could be somebody who deals with money a lot. You know, it could be a cashier. It could be somebody who works in the bank. It could be somebody on Wall Street. Um, so it might be a little bit harder for you to stay tuned in with your spiritual side, but that doesn't mean that it's not possible. You know, but there's ways to look at
Yeah,
abundance that's beyond the financial part, the money part. So uh,
yeah.
yeah, excellent card to have. Very good.
All right. And I pulled an angel card for you, and it's 999. This
Oh,
is
look at that.
I am unique. And I have to put my glasses on to read it because I am blind. Uh, and it says, thank the past for your lessons and leave it where it belongs so you can make the best of the life that is still waiting to be fulfilled by only you. That's probably some of the best advice I've heard in a while.
Excellent.
Leave it in the past, you know,
Yep. Yep.
acknowledge it, recognize it, and then dump that sucker. It's done, it's over with.
And the same thing with the Ten of Diamonds, you know, focus on the abundance. You have a lot of abundance around you, even if you feel that you don't, you actually do. And they're in ways that, just like we don't take a breath, we receive a breath. It's a gift. And think
She's
about
a
how many.
retired banker.
Oh, okay. Well,
That's awesome.
well, there you go. The cards don't lie, right?
That's it. It
I
it
love
really
it.
amazes me how many people when
You
they're a
made my day.
diamond deal with money. You know?
You made my day, Linda Ramsey. That's
Oh,
awesome.
that is so cool. Okay, let's see. Next up we have the chat keeps jumping. Karen Adams, May 7th.
I sense a trend. We have for Karen Adams, the Queen of Diamonds, receptive to higher values, spending, high value development, money consciousness, and your challenge is mastering your finances. So, you know, that's an important part of the financial part is somebody who, you know, you can have a lot of money, but how do you manage that money? And do you use it to the best and highest good? Um, you use it in ways that
Absolutely.
generates more income without hurting others. But with the queen, I think of that mother, you know, the mother part of the queen. I think maybe you're involved with helping your kids or other people out with money, and maybe you overextend a little bit to the point. Maybe that's what the mastery of finances is about. Maybe you love being generous, and sometimes you do it to your own detriment. So just
There
keep
you
it all in
go.
balance.
Okay, Karen, and I pulled an angel card for you. Number 77, and it says, I am brave. And it says, it is time to move on from the old patterns, habits, and fears. Now is the time to walk in the direction of your biggest desires and ambitions. Now is the time to be bold and brave. There.
There you go.
So that's a good one. And Linda was like, great cards. Thank you. Hi, Morg. Welcome. That was another one that popped in last night. I was like, wow. And yesterday was her birthday.
Oh, cool. Happy birthday. A day late, but happy birthday.
So we know that Morgan the Void is January 20th. What does January 20th say?
Oh, you want to know January 20th? What the
Yeah,
card is?
yeah. Since she's here and is
Well,
recuperating from her birthday.
oh, there you go. Well, we got a whole bunch of diamonds. We got a lot of gems in our crowd today. We have the Seven of Diamonds, victory through faith. This is
Ooh,
somebody who lives the attitude of gratitude, and you may have a conflict between love and money, and your challenge is having balanced values. When you think about the seven, that's a spiritual number. So how you uh, how you work finances and money and things like that into your spiritual side and keeping that in harmony. But another good card, all these money people. This is just great. This
telling
happens to
you.
us, doesn't it? More often than not, we get lots of money people in our, lots of diamonds.
There you go. And I pulled number 17. I am independent. And it says the quality of work you can produce when you're going at it alone is almost unbelievable. You are as independent as you are ambitious, capable of performing every step of the way with efficiency, focus, and skill. So,
Excellent.
Morg, that's a really good,
Very nice.
really
Well,
good
then you had
card.
17 and I had 7. So that's interesting how they were
Yeah,
similar.
sevens unite. And okay, anybody else has a question? Wants an oracle card?
We didn't
A
get the year
oracle
with the
card?
one who was in September, huh? Or the day, I mean,
No,
here.
I don't know if she left or is just not able to respond again.
Okay.
Um, so I've been watching the chat.
We appreciate everybody being here. It's uh,
Absolutely.
wintry in a lot of places. I know it's pouring rain here, which is unusual for where I'm at. So one of those hunker down, stay in the house, have a cup of hot chocolate in bed one of those days, you know?
Well, we've been dealing with all this cold. Then the weatherman made a point of saying, okay, well, it's going to warm up some and you're going to be swimming everywhere because we got tons of rain coming. It's like,
Oh,
oh, just what we need. So,
well, that's you're probably going to be getting what I'm getting now, you know? Oh, that's
yeah,
so
I'm
cool.
sure.
More than the void. I love that name.
Awesome,
That's so
Lord.
cool.
Karen says it's freezing in Massachusetts.
Oh, I'll bet.
Yeah, I would imagine so. We're what did I say earlier? We are 44 degrees.
Wow.
That's cold for down here.
Yeah, I was watching. I'm from Western New York near Buffalo, and I was watching the storm chasers there the last couple days. I mean, the snow, you know, where the plows go by on the side of the road was taller than the vehicles. It's just, and they have a big machine that they hook it up to the sewer, and they have the trucks come and just dump the snow in there, and it melts, and then it goes down into the sewer. I mean, it's crazy how much snow there is there. I'm thinking, well, no wonder I live where it's warm. Like the last
Yeah.
couple of days, it was in the 70s. That's my idea of winter.
Why do you think I live in the South?
I know. I
I
know.
don't even own a coat.
Yeah.
It's like somebody said something to me last week at work, and they were like, "Well, where's your coat?" I said, "I don't own a coat.
Yeah.
Why would I buy a coat?"
Yeah. Where I live, we call a scarf an Arizona overcoat because most of the time,
Oh,
you know, you don't even
yeah, I
need,
have
you
a
barely
really
need a
thick, heavy
sweater.
sweater that I wear, and that's my coat.
Yeah.
I'll wear a long sleeve sweatshirt, and then I'll wear a regular sweater, and then I'll put that thick cardigan on. And it's like, okay, I'm in layers. I can peel as I need
Yeah,
to.
that's exactly right. Yeah. Well, here, like a couple weeks ago, it got down to like 14, 16, you know, a few nights in a row. So it gets cold at night, but
Oh yeah,
yeah.
very much so. All right, we've got a new request from
October
Better Left
29th.
Unspoken and popped on last night. They were in my midnight run last night, so that was kind of cool. And
That's an
that's
excellent handle there. Better left unspoken. Very interesting.
yeah, I like
Um,
that.
so now we have a shift, but we're staying in the red cards. We have the Six of Hearts, the Law of Love. This is also the Christmas card, the Gift Bearer, faded love affair, having a stable heart, and your challenge, however, is being humble. So uh, only you can tell us about that. But
That was
you know, this
cool.
is somebody. The sixes are like a card, the number of balance. It's one of the balance numbers. So you think about. You know, you have a more balanced attitude maybe about love, and I feel like if you aren't already, um, keeping yourself, loving yourself, and putting yourself first is something that is important to you in your quest going forward. So I encourage you, if you're not, I think you already are on that path though, looking by
Yeah,
what your name is there. I really like that. So
yeah.
good job.
And I pulled for you Angel Card 21. I am inspiring. And it says, you are highly creative with a strong will to succeed. Your imagination is highly charged. It reveals itself in everything you do, from your sparkling conversation to your most prized projects. There you go, better left unspoken. That's pretty good. Oh, I love what Morg says. It was so cold, I said they should make a throat warmer. And then I realized I'm talking about a scarf.
That's great. I love that. I don't know.
That's
I don't think you
awesome.
heard.
I have to remember that.
Well, that makes me think of, in the last couple, like this was looking at Christmas time. So say maybe 3 or 4 weeks before Christmas started getting cold here, and I had um, a Mobius scarf. It's like a circle with one twist in it that I would wear around my neck because if I could just keep my neck and shoulders warm, I didn't need to have a whole sweater or something on. That was just enough. And
Right,
a
right,
friend of
right.
mine had sent me some Christmas gifts and ahead of time, and it's like I'm by myself, so I saved those. I didn't even feel them or anything. I didn't try to figure what they were, but I had them sitting there. When it's Christmas Day, then I can open those. Well, it was Christmas Day, and I got so involved with whatever else I was doing, I totally spaced that I had presents to open. And I'm kind of an afternoon nap kind of person. It really helps me recharge my batteries, lets my body rest. And I walked down the hall. I walked past the gifts, but I didn't think about opening them. Walked down the hall, and I said, this Mobius is nice, but it's like too light. I think I should dig. I've got some fun fur. I should make myself one. Wouldn't that be nice? I could make that for myself. I have to think about that when I get up. How nice that would be, soft around my neck. I get up, I open my Christmas gifts, and what is one of them? A fake fur Mobius to go right around my neck. Now, I could have opened that 2 weeks before, 3 weeks before, but it was so interesting that right when I had that thought, and I wasn't even thinking it was one of the possible gifts, I was so floored. It was exactly what I was thinking I should make and have everything to do it. Didn't have to spend any money, but I didn't even have to bother because I manifested that. And my friend must be psychic because she sent me what I needed before I even knew I was going to think I needed it. So exactly, Karen. Well said.
Yeah.
Well said. She says a lot of
Very
people
good.
think putting yourself first is selfish. I disagree. Easier to love others if you love yourself. It's exactly right.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, it's not possible to love others unless you love yourself.
All right. Like RuPaul
You know,
says.
it's how can you expect other people to respect, love, and honor you
Mhm.
if you don't respect, love, and honor you?
And
Um,
nobody can give you that. It's something you have to come to terms with. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I've done that route, and it's still something I work on, but it doesn't come from outside of you. It comes from within you, and we all have that. We all have that capability of loving ourselves. It's we stand on our own way a lot of times.
yeah. An important lesson I learned when taking care of my mom, especially towards the end, was that if I didn't take time out for me
Yep.
to recharge my batteries, it made it very difficult to take care of her because, I'm trying to care for a grown woman who was like having a baby in the house
Right.
again with the dementia, and the way it erodes the brain.
Right.
Um, it made it really, it's very draining when you're a caregiver for someone,
Yeah.
whether if
Exactly.
that's your profession or it's just someone in your home that just suddenly you're a caregiver to. You have to remember to do things for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
catch
to
myself
accept
still
help and
because,
allow help, allow, like, delegate things. And I know, like, where I live, when I was not in the county I'm in now, but the one before, they had a wonderful council on aging, and most places have that. Like, if you don't know where to turn to or who to ask for some help, there's people who just volunteer to do maybe a little odd job around your house or some weatherization, or you know there's there
yeah,
or help if you are a caretaker. I know that they have the one here locally, they have a whole publication they put out that's a book that's, here's how to get help, here are the numbers, here are the agencies you can call. and
yeah,
and as you get older, you qualify for more help. So, and there's more programs out now, I think, than there used to be. So
Oh, by
after
far,
what we
yeah.
went through. There's more. So don't think that, oh, I looked into that last year or a couple of years ago, and they said, no, you might want to try again and don't give up, be persistent. But it's a good idea to have some things lined up to, when you need some help. It's okay to
Yeah,
ask for help.
exactly. It was like my son will be 40 in a couple of weeks. Um, I have trouble processing that number.
I know
It's
what you
like,
mean.
no, he was a toddler yesterday. How
Yeah.
can he be turning 40, right? Um, but because he battles with PTSD really bad from his time in the military, and he has adult ADD, he was able to qualify for Medicaid
Oh,
through the
good.
Medicaid expansion through Obamacare. And thank God that at the time, the governor we had in this state was a Democrat in a very red state, who kicked that into gear. And so he's been able for the last several years to have health care. It's not the best in the world. And there's a lot of stuff that they just won't take Medicaid for.
Right.
But he's able to see a regular doctor. He's able to get medications to deal with his issues.
Right.
And it makes a huge difference. It's like if they were to suddenly take that away, I mean, I don't know what would happen with him. And I worry about that because it's like just the medication he takes alone is several $100s a month if he had to pay for it.
Right.
And he doesn't have the money for that. I mean, um it's very important to not only to ask for help but then be willing to accept it when it's offered,
Exactly.
because that can make all the difference in the world. If you know somebody that's a caregiver, offer to come in and sit with the person they take care of for half an hour so they can go soak in a bathtub and just unwind, or so
Right.
they can run to the nail salon around the corner and get a pedicure. Little things like that can mean the world when you are stressed and exhausted from caring for someone else, because that's a hard damn job. there's
Yeah. No kidding.
there's no smoke breaks, lunch breaks, coffee breaks,
Potty
yeah,
breaks.
potty breaks. Yeah, no. I mean, I guarantee you, the minute you sit on the toilet, something's going to happen,
Yeah.
and you got to jump up and run.
Yeah.
Um,
And another thing out there, there's a number that you can dial on the phone. It's 211, and it'll be according to the region where you live. But it's my experience with it was, and I called them a number of times when everything was pretty crazy a few years ago. But they can help you. They have numbers of agencies that you can contact, and they're not just like, I mean, these are people who have some kind of counseling training. They're willing to listen and whatever. Not
yeah,
that you're going to go and spill your guts to them, but you can tell them, and they will listen enough so that you can explain your situation, and they are very kind. I mean, that has been my experience. But they have a lot of ideas, a lot of things that you wouldn't even know that they were even out there, ways you can get help. So that's another. Just remember 211 on your phone,
exactly, exactly. It's very important.
and that's in the
Oh,
U.S. I don't know if Canada has anything similar.
okay. I guess Sharon never came back. I never got a date
That's
uh,
okay. Maybe
for
next time.
her. So, well, yeah, maybe next time. I do have a question from Sherry Taylor,
Okay.
who would like to get a message from her guides. And so I'm going to pull an oracle card.
I've got the Akashic Tarot. I'll pull a card and see what.
Ooh, there you go. My newest
Actually,
deck
I
that
just
I
heard
just
the
started
cane go
working
up.
with is called Divine Masters. I'm really
Ooh, look at
liking
that. Yeah, I've seen that deck
it.
a few times lately. That's a really cool looking deck.
It just came out
Yeah.
uh,
Awesome.
not that long ago. And then I've almost worked my way through my newest deck, called Angels and Auras. And so it's all about different angels or angelic beings that help you, as well as colors that people would see on their auras,
Auras.
auras. I can't ever say that word right. AURA. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's tying in different angels with the different colors and what they mean. It's really cool. So I've been like taking my time trying to absorb everything in it. Oh, okay.
Well, I switched decks from the Akashic Tarot because the angels came through, and so I'm using the influence of the angels deck, and it's card number 7, the Lover's card. So here we were again talking about loving yourself. I don't know where you are relationship wise. This could have to do with that, or it could have to do with your. There's a lot of ways to look at love in as how it is how we're experiencing it in our own personal lives. And the angel in this card is Shamuel, who is the angel who comforted Adam and Eve after they were expelled from the Garden of Eden. And he helps people have peaceful relationships. So the Lover's card is also about choice and consequence, duality and contrast, and seeing yourself in the other person. Putting yourself in their shoes, walk a mile in their moccasins, so to speak. And the angel's message is, may you gain a greater understanding of your personal values by examining the choices you have made. So, and as I have learned recently, we have several options, but one choice, in a certain situation. So again, with being authentic with our language, how we use the words. So that's a very
Cool.
lovely card. I see a lot of protection and just a lot of warmth in that card. So give yourself a great big hug, Sherry Taylor. You deserve it.
Absolutely. And I pulled for you Guru Ramdas. Miraculous moment. Harmony surrounds you. Expect miracles. This is the fourth guru of the six. Sikhs, six, however you pronounce it. Um, and he served from 1574 until 1581. Um, evidently, instead of choosing one of his own sons as his successor, he chose Jetha and renamed him Ram Das, servant of God. Guru Ram Das was the founder of the holy city of Amritsar, sacred to the Sikhs. Um, the 5th to 10th Sikh gurus were all direct descendants of Guru Ram Das. Wow. And it says your message with this card is the blessings are with you now. Even if the odds are stacked against you, you are being guided to expect miracles. Staying connected to God, you will prevail. And by God, whatever higher power, source, divine entity, whatever you call upon, they just use the generic term of God in this. Um, and it says, don't allow anyone or anything to stand between you and your dreams. By staying committed to your vision, you allow what may seem impossible to become a reality. It says all things are possible, and that you are worthy of light, healing, abundance, and support. Don't measure what seems possible, just trust and let miracles become your reality. That's really, look at
Cool.
all the colors around him too. I
That's
mean,
beautiful.
that's a gorgeous card.
And I just looked up. Shamuel is one of the 7 archangels, and he is the one who seeks God. So,
and I
quite
pull one
good.
that specifically talks God,
Mm-hmm.
because not all of them in the book do that. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, all right, let's see who we got next. Chocolate Roses wants to know if he will buy a house soon. Soon as in tomorrow or soon
Yeah,
as
what's
in
soon?
this year? Uh,
Or this lifetime?
um, let's break it down a little bit. Let's see. I'm going back, making sure I haven't missed anybody.
I can only do a little bit longer, Sherry, because my
Yeah,
dog is
it's
getting
we've
antsy.
already an hour and 10 minutes. Okay. I've got Chocolate Roses here, and then we've got Robin Smith, who will be
Okay.
a Destiny card, and that will do it for us. So, yeah, Morg, email me about that. Go ahead, send me that info. Um, okay, will I buy a house soon? Excuse me. And Sherry says, thank you for the message. It makes a lot of sense to her.
Oh, good. That's helpful. I love the feedback. Even if it's not, it all helps. Whatever the feedback is, we
Yeah.
all learn from it. And sometimes, there, as with any of these cards, there's layers and layers of meanings, and sometimes maybe it doesn't resonate with you at the time you hear the reading, and then down the road, a week, a day, a month, a year, whatever, it's like, oh, that's
Now
what
I
they
get
were
it.
talking about.
Yeah. Okay, Chocolate Roses. I pulled for you Field of Dreams. It's very much, to me, it comes across as an Easter card. So perhaps in the spring is what they're saying. Um, 21, that could be 21 weeks. I don't think it would mean as far as 21 months, but maybe if you break the 2 and the 1 down to 3, that would be 3 months. That would be Easter time. But it's Field of Dreams, and it just simply talks about um, you have great abundance coming into your life. So, uh, buying a house could very well be the ticket of what it is, that you may feel like you're going broke because you just spent money to buy a house, but usually your net worth goes up when you buy a house because of the value. Um, and so I sounded better at 1:30 a.m. Yeah, my sinuses are giving me fits today. Uh, did you read anything on this?
Not yet. Nope. I was
Okay.
waiting for you.
Okay.
So for chocolate roses, I pulled, and I went to the influence of the angels deck again, and I got the 2 of Swords. So this is when you're not ready to make a decision. Like you've got 2 options here, and maybe it's about you're not quite sure you're ready for this yet. I'm not saying that you're not, but when you've got a decision in front of you, this is kind of like um, really look at what your options are, what is
Yeah,
in your best and highest good. It sounds all great to buy a house, and I'm not discouraging you in any way, but then there's a lot of responsibilities that come along with it. So if it doesn't work out, what I'm hearing is if it doesn't work out right away, it's in your best and highest good that it doesn't, because maybe you'd be getting in over your head that where if you waited a little longer and really looked at your options, whether it's where the house is located or something about the house itself. I'm just kind of feeling like get a little bit more information before you jump into things. And then when you've got all your, you've done all your due diligence and you have a home inspector come through and all that kind of stuff, then you can make a good decision. And again, soon is kind of an ambiguous term. So I would say, since it doesn't seem like it'll be tomorrow, spend some time, do your research, and find out where you really want to be, because that's a commitment. When you buy that house, there you are. It's not so easy to
absolutely.
just pick up and move. But Let us know how that works
Absolutely.
out, because I think it's in your future, but it may not be as quick as you would like.
Exactly.
And if it is quicker, I'm happy for you and more power to you, believe me.
Yeah,
But don't jump too fast. Make sure you
that's
don't get
it.
in over your
Fingers
head.
crossed. All in good time. Because you don't want to jump into something and it's turns out to be the wrong thing to do. So,
Yeah.
um, all right. Last but not least, we've got Robin Smith, June 8th.
Okay. Let's see what we got for Robin.
And Chocolate Roses says, thank you. And you're very welcome.
You're very welcome. So we're back to the diamonds again. And this is the nine of diamonds, the giver card. Capital outlay, being generous, financial completion, and your challenge is misery follows selfishness. So, as Mary Burmeister, the founder of Jin Shin Jyutsu, would say, be a fountain, not a reservoir. Don't hang on to something, whether it's money or possessions or something, out of a sense of lack or a sense of fear. Sometimes the best way to get things flowing again is to go out and either spend a little money. I'm not talking about being, be responsible when you do this, but maybe go a little bit beyond your comfort zone or do something extra nice for somebody that you know is really in need. Maybe you give up a latte at Starbucks because you went and did something for somebody else or whatever
There
it
you go.
is.
There you
That
go.
might be a way to mitigate that part. But being the giver card is also a reminder. Don't give away too much either. Don't give away so much that you don't have something to keep yourself sustained, because you can't spend from an empty bank account,
Exactly.
energetically or monetarily. So, but a really beautiful card, the giver card. That's really awesome. Somebody who would be a good philanthropist, and maybe they volunteer
There
at
you
some kind of
go.
an agency that needs some help. And if you're not doing that, maybe that would be a way for you to get out and meet people, and it would bring a sense of meaning into your life because you would feel like you were giving back. So I hope that's helpful, Robin.
Oh,
Great card. I
cool.
love that nine of diamonds.
And I pulled for you the angel card number 7. And it says, I am brilliant. And let's see, what does it say here? It says, you possess a very refined mind and a deep urge to uncover life's mysteries. Your ability to acquire vast knowledge on both the informational and spiritual planes gives you a greater awareness than most.
Ooh,
So be aware. That's very good. Again, take care of you so that you're
yep,
aware of what's going on
yep.
around you and can help take care of others. So, well, that's it for us today. We ran over a little bit. We try to wrap this up in an hour's time, and it just never seems to happen. Um, Juno, I'm so glad you're back. I'm so glad we're doing our show again. Um, I
Me
really
too.
missed my time with you
Same
over
here.
the
And so now
holidays.
we've set it up. We're going to do once a month now. We're doing the third Sunday of each month, everybody.
Third
That's when we're
Sunday of
getting
each
together.
month. And usually we'll post something up about a week before to remind everybody, hey, we're going to be on this Sunday. So, um, but y'all have a wonderful rest of your weekend, what's left of it anyway, and have a great week. And you'll see both of us sporadically through the week. We're all on stuff and doing things. So just go to our channels, click like and subscribe, click the little bell, and you get notified whenever we throw something out there. So you'll get a little notification saying ding ding, 30 minutes
Yeah.
or whatever. Um, and y'all just have a great day. Thanks for joining us today. Thanks for being here with us today. Um, I really appreciate it. Thank you, Juno, for joining back in with me again. I
Well,
really
thanks
love
for
our
having
time
me.
together.
Thanks
And
for
so,
It's always a
really,
pleasure, Sherry. Thank you so much. And
yeah,
I think these shows you've got scheduled coming up sound awesome, and great job. Great job to get out there, and if you only help one person, it's all worth it.
it's
So
all worth it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank
Love you
y'all.
guys.
Y'all have a great day. I will keep my eyes open for your email, Morg. Thank you. Hi, Rose. And so goodbye for now. We'll catch y'all somewhere during the week, and we will be back together on the third Sunday of February, which I don't remember the date. But anyway, look on the calendar.
Yeah.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, guys. Thank you